Hi 6th graders, I hope you've been doing well. Today we are going to continue working on Unit 4. Today's lesson is all about multiplying mixed numbers. Our learning target for today is I can multiply using mixed numbers. Alright, so multiplying by mixed numbers is pretty much the exact same thing as we did in the last lesson, except there's one extra step that we need to take. So I'll explain what that is as we get going. So go ahead and fill out our rule box for how to multiply mixed numbers by fractions. So to multiply a mixed number by a fraction, you write the mixed number as an improper fraction, and then multiply just like we did in the last lesson. Okay, so let's take a look at our example. We're taking 3.5 times 2/5. So we want to change this 3.5 to be a fraction. An improper fraction. So remember, to change to an improper fraction, you multiply 2 times 3, and then you add 1. Okay, 2 times 3 is 6. 6 plus 1 gives us 7, and our denominator stays a 2. So it's 7 over 2 times 2 over 5. Now we just multiply just like we did in the last lesson. Okay, 7 times 2 is 14. 2 times 5 is 10. We can simplify that by dividing both numbers by 2. 14 divided by 2 is 7. 10 divided by 2 is 5. And then we could change that back to a mixed number. That would be 1 and 2/5. Awesome, let's look at 2 examples of how to do this. Okay, so we need to find the product and then write it in simplest form. So our first one is 3 2/3 times 1/2. Alright, so the first thing we want to do is we want to change this fraction to an improper fraction. So we need to multiply 3 times 3, which is 9, and then add 2. 9 plus 2 gives us 11, and our denominator is a 3. And then we're taking it times 1/2. Alright, so we're taking 11 times 1 all over 3 times 2. 11 times 1 is just 11. 3 times 2 is 6. 6 fits inside 11 one time. And then we have 5 left over, so 1 5/6 is our answer. Awesome, moving on to number 2. This time we're taking 4/7 times 2 1/5. So again, we have a mixed number. We want to change that to an improper fraction. So we take 5 times 2, which is 10, plus 1, which gives us 11 over 5. And we're still taking that times 4 over 7. Alright, so let's go ahead and let's multiply. We take 4 times 11 all over 7 times 5. 4 times 11 is 44. 7 times 5 is 35. 35 fits inside 44 one whole time. And let's subtract those two numbers to figure out how many are left over. I can't do 4 minus 5, so I need to borrow. 14 minus 5 is 9. 3 minus 3 is 0. So we get 9 over 35. So our answer is 1 and 9 over 35. Awesome. Alright, our second set of problems is how to multiply mixed numbers. I'll give you a hint. It's pretty much the exact same that we were doing up here, except you need to change both numbers to an improper fraction and then multiply. Okay, so go ahead and make sure you fill out your white box, and then let's take a look at this example here. So this time we have 1 3/8 times 2 2/5. So we need to change both of these to be an improper fraction. So we take 8 times 1, which is 8, plus 3 is 11, and our denominator stays an 8, times, now we need to change our second fraction. 5 times 2 is 10, plus 2 gives us 12 over 5. And remember, we can simplify our fractions before we even multiply. So if we notice, 11 and 5, we can't divide either of those numbers by something. They don't have anything in common. But 8 and 12 do. What do 8 and 12 both have in common? Yeah, we could divide both of those numbers by 4. 8 divided by 4, that's going to change to a 2. 12 divided by 4 is 3. Alright, so now let's multiply. We're really taking 11 times 3 all over 2 times 5. Okay, 11 times 3 is 33. 2 times 5 is 10. 10 fits inside 33 3 times, and then we have 3 left over. So 3 3/10 is our answer. Awesome, let's look at 2 examples and then we're done for the day. So we need to multiply 2 1/2 times 1 3/8. Remember, we don't need common denominators. We need these to be mixed or improper fractions. Sorry, I'm stumbling over my words today. So we need to multiply 2 times 2, which is 4, and then add 1, which is 5, all over 2. Times 1 times 8 is 8, plus 3 is 11 over 8. Let's go ahead and multiply. We're taking 5 times 11, all over 2 times 8. 5 times 11 is 55. 2 times 8 is 16. Alright, we can write that as a mixed number. We need to take 16 divided by 55, count by 16s over here. 16 plus 16 is 32. 32 plus 16 is 48. 48 plus 16 is going to be bigger than 55, so we can only fit 3 of them in there. And then subtract from 48, and we get 7. Okay, so we write this as 3 and 7 left over out of 16. So 3 7/16. Awesome, I want you to try the last one on your own and then come back and check your work. We're taking 4 1/6 times 3 1/3. So we need to change both of these to improper fractions. 6 times 4 is 24, plus 1 is 25, and our denominator stays a 6. Times 3 times 3 is 9, plus 1 is 10, all over 3. Alright, remember we can divide and simplify right away. 25 and 3 don't have anything in common, but 10 and 6 do. We could divide both 10 and 6 by a number. We could divide them both by 2. 6 divided by 2 really changes that to 3. 10 divided by 2 really changes it to 5. Okay, so we're taking 25 times 5 all over 3 times 3. So going ahead and multiplying.
I found this on the book.
Going ahead and multiplying, we're taking 25 times 5. Count by 25s, think of quarters. 25, 50, 75, $1, or 100. Then we need to add 25, so 125. If that didn't help, go ahead and just multiply across, or multiply it out, and you would get 100. Oops. 5 times 5 is 25. Not 10. 5 times 2 is 10, plus 2 gives us 12. So that's where we got that. And then 3 times 3 is 9. Alright, we can change that to a mixed number. 9 fits inside 1 0 times, but it fits inside 12 1 time. Subtract, we get 3, bring down our 5. 9 fits inside 35 3 times. 9 times 3 is 27. Subtract, we get 8. Alright, so we get 13 and 8 ninths, and that is our answer. Alright, I hope that this lesson made sense. If it didn't, please reach out and ask for help. Otherwise, I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye, 6.